there's any food in the house, I eat it. So we run out of food quickly.
Jesus.
So when Tim's at work and we're out, the only way I can eat is to go get it myself. I can't wait all day for him to get home.
To be fair, right,
going to get food is almost the only thing that gets me out of the house.
Staying mobile.
This is your friendly fat reminder to tell you that this right here, actually, it's not called a fupa. This is a belly. And I'm a big bitch who weighs over 300 pounds and I happen to have a big belly. And there's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with being fat.
You sure about that? You sure about that? You sure about that?
I started gaining weight when I was like 2. By 25, I was about 550 pounds. I'm about to go on my blind date. I'm so nervous. Dating is hard because men, they're just kind of like trash. Being big and beautiful, I'm a goal, like I'm a conquer. I don't want to have to question myself anymore in my relationship. I don't want to have to be insecure in my relationship anymore. Have you ever dated a plus size woman?
No.
Was it their weight that stopped it, or just you guys just weren't compatible? So my look is like, I don't know, I'm very chic, and it's cute and it's comfy, and I don't have to worry about tugging anything all day. My name is Nina. I'm from Philadelphia. I'm 35 years old, and I'm a full-time makeup artist. My mom said I started gaining weight when I was like 2. I was 300 pounds by the time I was about 12, 13. I think I graduated high school around almost 400 pounds. By 25, I was about 550 pounds. I want to find love now because I feel like I know it's going to be real. You love me then, and it's just like, let's ride off into the sunset with my, you know, my BBL and my, my flat stomach.
A TikTok describing Southwest Airlines' customer of size policy is going viral. Let me explain. Social media is divided over a customer who describes herself as a, quote, fat solo traveler, and made a TikTok that showed her taking advantage of a Southwest Airlines policy that allows customers who are bigger than an airline seat to use the one next to theirs for free. Some users praised the TikToker Kimmy Styled for discussing the policy and showing how it can be taken advantage of, but others questioned the effects it has on other travelers. Some users commented saying they had not been allowed to take advantage of the policy despite being eligible, while others wondered if it meant other passengers would be removed from a flight to free up a seat. Southwest Airlines says on their website that this policy has been in place for 30 years to, quote, meet the seating needs of customers who require more than one seat. The TikTok goes on to explain that Southwest Airlines is the only airline that has this policy and that it should be the industry norm. To take advantage of this policy, the video explains that you tell the gate agent you'd like to use the customer of size policy. You'll get an extra ticket that you place in the seat next to you. The TikToker explains in the description that you have to use the policy before your departing flight. Otherwise, you won't be able to use it on your return flight. Many users praised Southwest Airlines for their policy, saying it showed inclusivity. But in a response to the backlash she faced, Kimmy posted another video defending her original video talking about the policy.
So many people were upset. It's their policy. It's their airline. They can choose what they want to do.
While you get charged an arm and a leg if your extra carry-on is a pound over, these plus-size travelers get an extra seat for free just because they made bad life choices. What happens if the plane is full? Does a skinny person get kicked off so these feminists can have extra space? How ironic that the passenger in the TikTok is a mask wearer. The masks seem to be popular with lazy people who want to do the very least to become healthy. And funny how the TikToker supported the airline policy that caters to her, because if Southwest had the reverse policy and charged her extra for taking up more space, she'd be crying on TikTok how they're discriminating and fat-phobic. These people are so delusional that they call skinny people or regular healthy people privileged.
Don't talk to me. Bitch, kiss me.
That's cause you ate the whole damn buffet, you fat fuck.
Emotional, damn it!
It just dawned on me how many people don't understand how rarely fat people actually receive evidence-based medicine from doctors. One time, I went in for an ear infection and the doctor told me to lose weight. You know what thin people get? Antibiotics. One time, I found a lump and I made an emergency appointment to get a cancer screening. It was at an OBGYN, and as soon as the doctor walked in, he didn't look at me, he didn't introduce himself, he looked at my chart and he said, "You'd have an easier time getting pregnant if you lost weight." I told him, I'm not here for fertility treatment, I'm here for a cancer screening. And he said, oh, okay, and started the appointment, never said sorry. And I would need to make a 20-part series for the saga I went through last year when I needed spinal surgery for a lifelong spinal defect that had nothing to do with my weight. And this is the norm. It's typical for this to happen.
Evidence-based medicine like peer-reviewed studies about heart attacks. The bodybuilding world, which is often confused with health and fitness, has the same health problems as fat people, like a higher risk of heart attack because they're carrying an extra 100 to 200 pounds of muscle, which means the heart will have to work twice as hard just to live a normal life. No one from that industry disputes the health risks. And an ear infection, according to diabetes organizations, is a symptom of diabetes because it indicates poor blood flow. So the doc was actually doing his job and giving her real advice, which can be solved cheaply with a diet instead of spending money on surgery if the ear infection becomes chronic. And the spinal defect does have to do with weight because her extra weight puts more pressure on the spine. This is why overweight people can't ride horses because their extra weight would eventually break the horse's back.
And what are you looking for in the next man?
Pardon?
What are you looking for in a man now to wear this clothes?
I'm not looking for a man. Let's start there.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard. Coping and seething.
Skinny privilege is a thing. People are going to treat you different after you lose the weight. I lost 140 pounds, and I will tell you, this girl got treated like crap in this world. This girl got treated completely different than this girl. When I weighed almost 300 pounds, no one noticed me. It was as if I was invisible. Like, in certain aspects, of course. Like, I was always like the fat, funny friend going out to the club or to bars with my girlfriends. Like, they're all beautiful, they're all small, and I was just like the fat, funny friend that came along. I do want to quickly preface that my best friends never treated me differently. I am very lucky, and I know that's not the case for a lot of people. I have lost friends throughout my journey because I did lose the weight, and that can be the purpose of another video, but today is to talk about skinny privilege. Skinny privilege is like so many things. For example, the fact that skinny people, they don't even have the stress of walking into a store and knowing that their size is not in there. Or the amount of times I tried to go into Lululemon, the amount of times I tried to go into Abercrombie, and you just get the stare. You just get the look of like, you don't belong here. You can't fit into the store. Why are you here? When it comes to being in line for a roller coaster, I'm gonna get up to the front, and in that moment, I'm gonna find out if I'm gonna fit or if I'm gonna be completely embarrassed. Same with on an airplane, walking down that aisle, having everyone look at you and wonder, I really hope I'm not sitting next to that fat girl. Skinny people don't understand that. And I also want you to know, even after you lose the weight, I may not be the girl I used to be, but all of those thoughts, all of the trauma, it's still here. I still walk on a plane. I still have those thoughts. And another thing that never happened to me before was I receive a lot of compliments. People are genuinely nice to me. People notice me. I get the door held for me. People are making eye contact with me. They're smiling at me. It's so sad to think about the fact that like Liza, when she weighed 300 pounds, she didn't get that. Why wasn't she deserving? Like, why do we live in this world today? How can I trust these people if they were going to treat me like that? Society will judge you based off of the way you look, as opposed to your personality. When somebody sees you, the first thing they see is your appearance. And unfortunately, we live in the most disgusting society where they're judging your appearance. And if you don't fit their standards, they're gonna treat you a certain way. A big one that I noticed during my journey is the fact that I don't get stares when I'm eating in public. I don't get the look when I'm ordering ice cream. It's not a big deal. Whereas whenever I was 300 pounds and I was ordering ice cream with my girlfriends, you get the look. And I know you know, if you are a big girl, if you've ever been big, you know what the look is. You get the look of like, why are you ordering that? Shouldn't you be getting a salad? And the fact that there's zero food judgment after you lose the weight, it's just beyond me. Just because somebody's in a smaller body does not mean they're healthy. Just because somebody's in a bigger body doesn't mean that they're not allowed to have ice cream. I was morbidly obese for as long as I can remember. I started my journey at age 26 and I lost 140 pounds. And my life is so new into this body. Like, I am a new girl. I'm a brand new person at this size, at this weight, with this life and with the attention I get, and it's hard to wrap your head around it. There are dark days. There are days that you just genuinely have to mourn the version of yourself that you no longer are. But you also don't want to lose her because she's everything. Like, she got me here. I just want to say, treat everyone with kindness. And just because somebody doesn't look like the way you want them to look doesn't mean you have the right to treat them less of a human, because that human will never forget the way they were treated.
Well, apparently it worked, because it motivated her to lose the weight, as she looks much better with a new start in life. These designer, uppity clothing stores are made for size 2 girls. If she went to Ross, she could find plus-size clothing in the clearance section. Roller coasters have size limits because it would be unsafe to ride them if the people in the cars exceeded their weight. She's basically naming all the practical reasons why you shouldn't be overweight. She explains that people are nicer to her because she looks better. People stop and look at Ferraris, not minivans. It sucks that we live in a world where looks are held supreme over other qualities, but that's life. There are plenty of men who women make fun of and call insults because they got the shortest end of the stick. And the truth is, if the majority of attractive women lost their looks or sex appeal, no one would deal with them, because that's the only thing they have.
Hi, can you fit in a car, movie theater, or airplane seat comfortably? Can you go to the doctor for a broken bone and actually talk about the broken bone? Can you cut on a movie made before 2012 and see a character that looks like you that isn't the secondary, funny, or sassy friend? Is your body represented everywhere in fashion? Then congratulations! You have skinny privilege. Now, before you say, I'm underweight and people bully me all the time. Just because I'm skinny doesn't mean I can't be insecure. This is your reminder that privilege does not equal freedom from mistreatment. In fact, society depends on all of us to feel bad about ourselves to continue making money on our insecurities. But society does prioritize thin bodies over marginalized bodies, and that's why you can do all the things mentioned before and more. For example, no one's making shows like The Biggest Loser or My 600-Pound Life about skinny people. In fact, society will always lift skinny bodies and their voices to the front of every conversation, and that means you might accidentally talk over some marginalized groups. When making peace with your body or confronting your haters, don't shut down when someone says that your actions are hurting an oppressed group. Instead, shut up, check your privilege, and listen. This has been your SJA.
All these problems of not fitting into cars can easily be fixed with the gym and a diet, and majority of men are attracted to skinny fit women because they were born that way. So yes, skinny women are going to get preferential treatment because men want to bed them. But this is the case for all good-looking people. Short guys get ghosted all the time by women when they find out their average height, and height isn't a lifestyle. It's genetic. Short people can't just drink more milk and grow a couple of inches.
Just can't say goodbye. I just wanna be appreciated.
Welcome to our hotel's Fat Phobic. With me, your host, your resident fat ass, Mary Fran. Come hither. Let's take a look at the bathroom. As one might see, it looks normal. Would you like to take a pee or a poop? Don't worry, you'll barely fit. Perhaps a shower. Oh, need a towel to dry off? Don't worry, it won't fit. Oh, yes, so nice of me to go outside. Oh. Thank you for coming to my tent.
Now, objects and places hate fat people, according to these feminists. How ironic that the camera woman snorted while laughing. At least they're having fun with it, but they're encouraging an unhealthy lifestyle. Fat men don't claim they're healthy, and no one is scared to hurt their feelings and call them fat. They know they need to lose weight. It's treating these feminists with kid gloves, and not to say they should be harassed. But if someone was driving off the cliff, anything that makes them stop is well worth the effort to save their lives.
I decided that because I was feeling crappy, put an effort into my...
Funny how you're going to put effort into your appearance and not your nutrition. Maybe then you won't feel so crappy, huh?
Hi. Effort, huh?
I'm a goddamn supermodel. I know, yeah. I also run multiple successful businesses. I know. It's not much effort though. I also work out 5 days a week. I know. God, so many mental gymnastics to get from your leap over here. Now that's effort, yeah. I don't know. I don't really have much else to say because, you roasted.
Laughs in fat checks
yourself.
and good mental health.
Overweight women do spend more time with makeup and everything else to look pretty, except going to the gym to lose weight. The reason why Tess Holliday is a quote-unquote a model is because of her influence. Most of her followers are plus-size women, and so a bikini brand makes a XXX wide load size, and Tess is a model for it. Then it will sell out. The delusion is on another level when she claims she works out or she's healthy. Heart attacks and diabetes are the biggest killers in America, and both are the most common in fat people. Projection must be a cope for these people, because if Tess was truly a supermodel, she wouldn't have to tell anyone that she is. Celebrities and athletes would be sliding in her DMs looking to hook up. And generally speaking, if you have to make a TikTok convincing people that you are something, chances are you're not.
I'm so glad that someone posted this because this shows you that bones are literally different. Like, you see? Like, big boned, small boned. Never mind. That's actually a gorilla on the right side. Sorry.
This TikToker is mad after being told she's not allowed to go horseback riding due to her weight. So she made a TikTok that said, "Shout out to Deep Hollow Ranch for making me leave because I weigh over 240. She was mad about the weight limit, so she posted this TikTok to get her over 2 million followers to attack and hurt the small business. Now, it would have been an issue if the ranch was like, "Oh no, I don't want your business because I don't like you." But this is a living animal. They refuse her service because they care about the health and safety of their horses. So after she posted this TikTok, Deep Hollow Ranch was flooded on Google with bad reviews. Naturally, the ranch found the TikTok and one of the workers had something to say about it. Now, he did delete the TikTok, but I'll show the duet that Remy made.
When you're not a fat bitch, you can ride a Deep Hollow Ranch.
So apparently this is the owner's son, and making a TikTok response is kind of immature, but I do get it. Fat, big bone, curvy, it's synonymous. And she was kind of a bitch by getting her over 2 million followers to leave a bunch of fake 1-star reviews instead of reaching out privately. But either way, I don't support any bullying. What would have been better is to reach out privately and address the lack of communication about the weight limit.
The influencer had her followers try to cancel someone's living because they were watching out for their animal's welfare. They probably explained to her why she couldn't in a polite way, but because of her feminist princess mentality, she had to make it seem she was the victim to gain clout on social media. Short people, especially kids all over the world, can't ride on certain amusement park rides, and it's for their safety. They may throw a fit, but eventually they accept it, and it's something kids look forward to when growing up. Besides the animal cruelty, vet bills when dealing with the horse's back and legs aren't fun to deal with. And the fact that so many people sided with this influencer just shows the state of the world we live in.
Thank you so much for watching. If you found value in this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons, ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on future uploads, drop a comment, and share it. See you in the next video, guys. Till next time.